Hello and welcome to YNWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this.
Emergency Liverpool meeting ends with Arne Slot given final warning and two-match deadline. Liverpool manager Arne Slot has reportedly now had his emergency meeting with club bosses and been given a final warning over his job. It seems the Reds want to see an immediate improvement from Slot, according to the information in the X post below, with the demand now being to deliver 6 points from the club's next to Premier League games. As reported earlier today, there have already been some apparent issues between Slot and Liverpool director Richard Hughes after the latter overruled the former over the sale of Luis Diaz to Bayern Munich this summer. Now it looks like Slot has been given the urgent message to turn things around quickly, or the club are prepared to make a change. Would Liverpool be right to sack Arne Slot? A few months ago it would have seemed unthinkable that Liverpool could be in this position, with Slot working wonders to win the Premier League title in his first season in charge. The Dutch tactician was then given some hugely promising signings to work with, as the likes of Alexander Isak, Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike and Jeremy Frimpong joined in the summer. Things just haven't worked out for these new additions, however, with Liverpool now perhaps justified in questioning if Slot is still the right man to take this team forward. Liverpool are now on an awful run of 9 defeats from their last 12 games, and it will be interesting to see if Slot can survive. The next 2 games clearly look like they'll be crucial, with West Ham away and Sunderland at home up next for Liverpool in the league. Liverpool fans make feelings clear on sacking Arne Slot after latest loss. Liverpool supporters have called for the club to sack Arne Slot after yet another shambolic defeat. The Reds were thrashed 4-1 at Anfield by PSV Eindhoven on Wednesday night in the Champions League to pile more pressure on Slot, who now appears to have lost the majority of fans. Liverpool's porous defense was on show again, as PSV ran riot in the second half to become the third straight opponents to win by 3 goals, after Nottingham Forest and Manchester City did the same thing. There were several worrying signs at Anfield as Slot appeared powerless to stop his side slumping to a 9th defeat in their last 12 games. Slot received backing from Steven Gerrard, who said the current situation stopped short of being a crisis, and Jamie Carragher, who pointed the finger at the players. And Mirror Football understands that the Dutchman's job is safe for the time being, with plenty of credit in the bank following his stunning debut campaign in which he claimed the Premier League title. But, as Gerrard pointed out by saying Anfield tells a story, the seats are empty, the dissenting voices are growing louder, and that sentiment was clear when Mirror Football used our dedicated Liverpool WhatsApp channel to ask whether the club should sack Slot. We received 912 responses and there was an overwhelming verdict, with 68% saying yes, as opposed to 290 to 32%. Who would give him more time? I feel I am okay with my position, Slot said after the humiliating PSV defeat. I've been feeling safe. I've got a lot of support from above. They are helpful to me, but they don't phone me every single minute of the day to tell me they trust me. I feel the trust, but I haven't spoken to them after this game, Carragher pointed out on CBS Sports. They are different from almost every top club in European football where the manager is the king. The managers get time. Liverpool have never sacked a manager who has won the league. I couldn't believe after the weekend defeat to Forest people were talking about the manager's job, but it's only going to amplify now. I've always been in the camp of you stick by the manager. I'm angry with the players. Slot will be in charge for the trip to face West Ham in the Premier League on Sunday. He is in desperate need of a morale-boosting win. With Liverpool sitting 12th in the league after losing 6 of their last 7 games in the competition, Jamie Carragher suggested, Mohamed Salah's legs have gone in the wake of Liverpool's humbling Champions League loss to PSV. Liverpool's players must shoulder responsibility for their dismal form. So says Jamie Carragher, who believes Mohamed Salah is now past his best. The Reds' woeful run continued on Wednesday, as they went down 4-1 to PSV at Anfield in the Champions League. Liverpool have lost 9 of their past 12 matches in all competitions, which is their worst run since the 1953-54 season, in which they were relegated. And though Carragher accepts Arne Slot is struggling, he thinks Liverpool's players must step up. Though the former defender fears 33-year-old Salah has lost his magic. In his role as a pundit on CBS Sports, Carragher said, Liverpool's not a sacking club. Liverpool are different from almost every club in European football. The manager is the king. The manager gets time. I have always been in the camp that you stick with the manager. I'm angry with the players, if I'm totally honest, but it does get to a stage for any manager at a club where it's untenable. It can't go on any longer. I'm not quite there yet, but I know others are. The catalyst for Liverpool at the very start of the run in 2018 with Jurgen Klopp was Alisson, Virgil van Dijk and Salah. Alisson's injured a lot now, he doesn't play so much. But you watch Van Dijk now, not the same player, and Mo Salah looks like his legs have gone. I don't like criticizing them, and I think some of the criticism of them this season as players has been harsh. You always look for leaders in your team to step up when things are not going well. I've been critical of Salah off the pitch. I want him to come out and do an interview and speak to the Liverpool supporters about what the players are going to do, about what's going on in the dressing room, giving the supporters hope that things are going to improve. But I don't like criticizing them on the pitch because they're absolute legends for what they've done. And their legs have just gone. Salah registered a whopping 57 goal involvements last season, the most of any player in Europe's top 5 leagues across all competitions. So far this term, he has contributed just 85 goals, 3 assists, Salah's 0.3 goals, 0.3 expected goals, 2.6 shots, 1.0 shots on target, 7.0 touches in the opposition box and 0.5 goal involvements per 90. This season are all low marks across his Liverpool career. But Carragher says the likes of Salah and Van Dijk need support. I look at some of the others, step up, he said. Can you only play well when they play well, when they carry you? In terms of the players and the way they're performing, it's not acceptable for Liverpool. This is maybe a snapshot of the future of Liverpool when Mo Salah moves on, Van Dijk moves on and Alisson moves on. Liverpool make decision on Arne Slot future. Arne Slot's job is in danger, with the Reds sitting with a record of 9 defeats in 12 matches. With plenty of speculation going around on whether the Liverpool hierarchy would sack the Dutchman after the heavy 4-1 defeat to PSV Eindhoven, the thrashing. Liverpool's third consecutive defeat by a margin of 3 or more goals has plunged the club into what many are calling a full-blown crisis. The Reds have now lost 9 of their last 12 matches in all competitions, a run of form so dismal it stands as the club's worst streak since 1954. But amid all the talk, the Daily Mail's Lewis Steele has now provided an update. The Merseyside journalist reported, Arne Slot retains the backing of the Liverpool hierarchy, despite knowing he is under pressure to turn around their wretched run of form. But sources close to both Liverpool and Slot himself have insisted to Daily Mail Sport this morning that his position as head coach is safe, and that has not changed after the defeat to PSV. Despite the alarm bells, Slot himself is calm about his future at Anfield. When pressed on whether he feared the sack post-PSV, the Dutchman insisted he retains the support of Fenway Sports Group FSG. Yeah, but not in the sense that they tell me every single minute, we support you. We support you. We support you, he said. We talk a lot. If we are winning, last season, and if we are losing, and then they are helpful to me, to the team. So yeah, we do have those conversations, but they don't call me in every single minute of the day to tell me that they still trust me. We do have the normal conversations, and in those conversations I feel the trust. Kylian Mbappe named UCL Player of the Week after 4 goals in Olympiacos win. Kylian Mbappe has been named UEFA Champions League Player of the Week, following his blistering 4-goal masterclass that powered Real Madrid to a thrilling 4-3 comeback win over Olympiacos on Wednesday night. The French superstar etched his name into the record books, with the second fastest hat-trick in Champions League history, striking 3 times in just 6 minutes and 42 seconds during the first half to turn the tide against the resilient Greek hosts, trailing early in a match that marked Madrid's 5th attempt at victory on Olympiacos turf. Mbappe's clinical finishing, capped by a 4th goal, finally broke their hoodoo and snapped a frustrating 3-game winless streak across all competitions, injecting fresh momentum into Xabi Alonso's side. With the triumph, Real Madrid vaulted to 5th in the UCL standings on 12 points, firmly in contention for one of the top 8 automatic knockout spots with 3 matchdays left to play. Mbappe's haul not only secured the 3 points but propelled him to the top of the tournament's scoring charts with 9 goals. Liverpool make bold call on Slot future after Reds boss tells reporters he feels safe. Liverpool have made a bold call on Arne Slot's future as head coach after Wednesday's 3-1 home defeat to PSV. According to a report, the Reds have lost 9 of their last 12 games and sit 12th in the Premier League. It's been a surprising and disastrous title defense after Liverpool spent over £400 million in the summer transfer window. Star players like Ibrahima Konate, Virgil van Dijk, Alexis Mac Allister and Mohamed Salah have all been terrible in comparison to last term, while new additions Alexander Isak, Milos Kerkez, Jeremy Frimpong, Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike have all struggled. The pressure is mounting on Slot, who has enough credit in the bank to survive for now, but after being backed so heavily in the summer, he has to turn things around before the turn of the year or he'll be gone. The Dutchman isn't helping himself with his team selection as he continues to stick by the likes of Konate, who made another costly error in the Champions League defeat to PSV and has been appalling all season. Liverpool's bold call isn't really bold at all. Despite the club's wretched form and Slot's inability to adapt, the former Feyenoord boss is safe for now. According to Dainwa, Liverpool have made the bold call not to panic and sack their Premier League title-winning head coach. Slot retains the backing of the Liverpool hierarchy, and his position is safe, which has not changed after losing to PSV. Still, Sunday's Premier League match at West Ham is described as a must-win match. Slot feeling safe despite wretched Liverpool form. Speaking after the defeat to PSV, Slot said he feels safe and that the board supports him. "I am feeling safe," he said. "I am okay. I have got a lot of support from above. It would be nice to turn it around and get a victory, of course. But if you are working as a coach and not doing well, then it is normal that questions are asked. I am okay with my position. It is not the first time I've been in a difficult position, but it is about time that we turned it around. I have had conversations, but not in the sense that they tell me every single minute, 'We support you, we support you, we support you.' We talk a lot if we are winning last season and if we are losing. And then they are helpful to me and to the team. We do have those conversations, but they do not call me every single minute to tell me that they still trust me. But we do have the normal conversations, and in those I feel the trust. If you lose so many times, it is normal that people talk about that my position." Liverpool's 3-man shortlist to replace Slot. If Liverpool sacks Slot, reports suggest that former Tottenham Hotspur boss Ange Postecoglou, Bournemouth's Andoni Iraola and club legend Jurgen Klopp will be the top 3 candidates. Links to Postecoglou should obviously be laughed off, while a return to management now would be too soon for Klopp, who left Anfield at the end of 2023-24 and was replaced by Slot. That leaves Iraola as the most realistic appointment if the Liverpool job becomes available. A report from Spanish website Fichajes states that Liverpool believe Iraola could boost the evolution of the squad and reactive players who do not find their best version under Slot, and also think his profile fits with the long-term project. There is a simple explanation for Liverpool's poor season. It is worth remembering that the Liverpool squad and staff are still mourning the death of Diogo Jota, which might be the biggest factor behind the team's poor 2025-26. Jota was more than a colleague to these Liverpool players. They saw him almost every day, and his tragic passing will affect every individual differently. These players are only human, and if you want to deem this season a write-off, that would honestly be absolutely fair. As Thursday's mailbox said, is it as simple as Liverpool being so rotten because they are grieving Diogo Jota? There is an argument that no coach could combat that. Arne Slot set non-negotiable target to avoid Liverpool sack with FSG rattled by PSV loss. Sources: Liverpool's hierarchy is refusing to panic over Arne Slot's position despite a damaging 4-1 Champions League defeat to PSV Eindhoven on Wednesday night. Sources have told YNWA, speaking exclusively to Toinwa on Wednesday and ahead of that damning loss, a senior Anfield figure gave a candid assessment of the growing noise surrounding the Dutch head coach. Is he in danger? Yeah and no, he's under pressure, but it's not as black and white as some say, he continued. The club acknowledges a difficult period is underway. We're going through a hard time. The tragic death of Diogo Jota has, of course, had a serious impact inside the club, and everyone knew there would be a downturn at some point after Jurgen Klopp. We're entering a new cycle, new head coach, new staff, younger squad profile. That was always part of the plan, while the long-term vision remains unchanged. Wednesday's thrashing at home has rattled the club. The result has intensified scrutiny on Slot, with the upcoming Premier League fixture against West Ham United now looming as a pivotal moment Insiders stress that victory against Nuno Espirito Santo's side is almost non-negotiable. Liverpool are expected to win their next 3 matches, West Ham, Sunderland and Leeds United, and any slip-ups could rapidly escalate the pressure on the former Feyenoord boss. Behind the scenes, contingency planning is understood to be in its infancy. In wonder stands that Ange Postecoglou, recently sacked by Nottingham Forest after a turbulent spell, remains highly regarded by Liverpool's decision-makers. Senior figures at Anfield have long admired the Australian's attacking philosophy and personality, believing he would suit the club's identity despite his struggles at the City Ground, a role many felt was an ill-fit from the outset. Postecoglou's availability has not diminished Liverpool's long-standing interest, although sources are quick to stress no formal approach has been made and the club's public position continues to back Slot. For now, the message from the top is measured patience. But after the heaviest European defeat in over a decade, the margin for error has shrunk dramatically. A positive result at the London Stadium this weekend is now critical if the temperature around Slot is to cool anytime soon.
Thank you for watching. Like and comment, subscribe.